Hey guys, welcome to another episode of
Boys, Booze, and Blood!
This is Edward, known as Beloved Freak.
I am Betorta00.
I'm Velfornia13.
My name is George, Jug16x on Instagram.
And we have a special guest.
My name is Alan. Hi, I don't have an Instagram.
But he's awesome anyways.
So today our episode is on Universal monsters and monster movies in general.
Woo!
So
Oh!
I don't know a lot about them, so you guys have to tell me what are the Universal monsters.
I don't know, Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy,
the
Phantom,
Man, the Wolfman,
Creature from the Black
Yeah.
Lagoon.
The Hunchback of Notre
Dracula,
the
Dame.
Hunchback.
Apparently, the Phantom of the Opera is one too. I didn't know
Yes.
I know our horror trip. We did a horror trivia at the Phantom Carriage Brewery in Carson. That was one of the questions. It was what was the earliest Universal horror movie? And the choices were Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom of the Opera, Dracula, and Frankenstein. To my knowledge, it was Phantom of the Opera.
That's
I
what we
thought it
all
was
thought.
Dracula.
We all thought was
No, Phantom of the Opera, because it was technically silent.
that. I thought that was Broadway shit. I didn't know it was a Universal movie.
I mean, it was Broadway shit, but I mean, it was a Universal movie. It was Lon Chaney doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
He was
It was
the monster.
original. It was original monster movie, and then they
Right.
did the.
But it
the answer was
took me a bit.
Hunchback, right?
The answer was
It was a
Hunchback.
Hunchback, yeah.
Which I thought was a Disney movie.
well,
Because it was,
In the
it
90s.
was a silent film, and I was just like, wait a minute. I remember Hunchback was one of the ones that Universal did, but I thought Phantom was first. But I guess
Because I don't think it was
got
as
wrong.
popular.
So
I didn't know it was in that.
Alan knew the right answer,
I did.
yes,
but we didn't listen to him.
I never
Dumb.
did.
So we all listen to Alan now.
We, no,
Well, when it comes to old movies, that's pretty much my.
is that your
wheelhouse.
So that's why we brought you here, see?
It's just the ones that I've grown up watching the most and having the most knowledge about. Plus, I used to work at Universal, so you kind of get
oh, you
like
did.
I
You
did
get like
too,
a
but I didn't
whole,
know
like-
most of the stuff.
trivia of information that comes at you when you
That's
start working there.
true.
I'm curious, like what trivia or what little like facts or fun
Good
things did
question.
you know about that? Yeah.
Well, it's just the fact that like when you start working there, they use part of that in their interview process is finding out like what type of things that you like and how much you relate to the company. So, having prior knowledge to my love of old horror movie monsters really helped me get the job in the first place. But then like as you start working there, you have old managers that come to you and ask you trivia questions for points on like your employee status or whatever.
Awesome.
So you
Yeah.
learn to love the things that Universal brings to the table in that genre of movies anyways. And then just growing up in Los Angeles, going on the studio tour that they have
I
at
love the studio
Universal,
tour.
you learn so much about the movies that they've produced in the past. So
Do you have any interesting trivia that not a lot of people would know?
I don't know.
See, I love the studio tour because it just gives you a lot of that backstory on just the old classic horror movies they used to do. Like, I don't know, my favorite things learning about it was for Dracula.
Mm.
They would film Dracula in the day, and at night the Spanish version would film, and I haven't seen the
There
Spanish.
was a Spanish version?
There's a
Yeah.
Spanish
Spanish
version of
version.
Dracula.
Selena?
No, they filmed it at the same time.
Right.
So
back
what
to
they
back.
did was the U.S.
Same actors and everything?
not same actors,
Okay.
but like they used the same sets. So what they would do is the U.S. version would film during the day, and to dub it in Spanish, or they did the Spanish actors, they would go at night. And so everyone argues that the Spanish version is a lot better, only because some of the actors and some of the producers would see what the U.S. version did during the day, and they would improve on it during the night.
differently.
That's-
So that's why a lot of filmmakers would argue that the Spanish version of Dracula is superior.
Now that's some great trivia.
Yeah,
No,
that
it
a really
is
good
great,
trivia.
and then like
I need to
What
see
I-
the Spanish one.
like going on the studio tour is like one of my favorite things, and going past that area where there's like a water fountain or whatever,
Mhm.
they would stop there and they would say how Boris Karloff would take breaks during filming, and he would want to walk around, but he would scare everybody because of his makeup, because that makeup took like several hours to put on. So he would go out, take a break, maybe have a smoke break or something, and he would scare all the extras because it's just they were frightened at the time of that makeup. Like
What a
that's what I
cheeky
love.
fella.
Yeah, I mean, Frankenstein was scary to me.
Yeah, he was.
When I worked at Universal, prior to being hiring, I actually auditioned to be a character. To be Frankenstein.
Ooh.
Fun.
And they're like, oh, we would want to be Shrek and Frankenstein. But I'm like, I want to do Frankenstein. I want to scare people because I love scaring people.
I love Shrek.
And right, so like one of the things they told me is like, what is your favorite things about Universal and stuff? And I said, growing up here, my favorite was the Beetlejuice show because it had all the Universal monsters and they did the dance
They had
numbers.
the Beetlejuice show. I forgot
They
about
did.
that.
And I was like, I want
remember
that
the
to come back.
commercials.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And I used to get excited. That was my main reason to go to Universal as a kid.
Oh,
I want to see
I
Beetlejuice and see the monster dance and stuff. It was really cool. I wish they brought that back.
Yes.
So, like, that's one of the things I said when going into Universal, that I wish they did something like that, and how much I appreciated the Universal monsters. And that's why one of the reasons I got the job, and I told them why I wanted to be Frankenstein over Shrek. I wanted to be a monster because I love horror films, I love monster films, and I relate to that kind of character instead.
And they used to cater to that a lot because, like, they would have a year-round haunted house called the Universal House of Horrors. And so it would be all the classic monsters, and for some reason they would randomly have Chucky there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like,
Wasn't he
anywhere.
hosting or
Or
something?
no, he wasn't even hosting. It was just like a little midget, like
For
crawling
Horror
around.
Nights, though, he would host.
Don't be
For
insensitive,
Horror
George.
Nights he would host, but it's just like for like the year round. I went one time during the summer.
Chucky should be a Universal.
He
Yeah,
should.
he
I think he
should.
should be because like it's just fun.
Take that,
Like
Annabelle.
going through those House of Horrors, you see Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon come at you, and then for some reason I went to one area
Chucky.
and then Chucky comes out, runs out at me. I was just like, what the fuck? Like
He looked at the floor and got scared. He's like,
I was like, oh, like why is that near my knee? And
I think there's a dry hump in it.
I know, like, but I just love like going to horror nights. It's just I still get that nostalgic feel. Like when you're gonna go on the Terror Tram and you're there waiting, and on the screens it's like showing you the classic movies. It's like a montage of
Through
like,
the decades of all the
all
different
horror.
Universal movies.
Exactly, and I love it because it's just like those classic feels. You know, it kind of gets you pumped up, and you're going on that Terror Tram, which I'm excited for this year. Like, regardless of what mazes are there, it
Universal
might suck.
doesn't disappoint.
It
when it comes to
never
the mazes.
disappoints. That's one thing I appreciate about the movies: the quality, the makeup, just the characters.
That's a good point.
It's the
Exactly.
production,
Because it was
the makeup.
look at the year, and they came up with shit that not even today. Like today's all CGI and annoying.
Back then, they were
And back
resourceful.
then it was so resourceful, and you can
Practical effects.
make all these good-looking movies with very little money.
that people were working
Yeah.
doing that.
Now, what I know about Universal Monsters is very little. I've never seen the movies. I've only seen Bride of Frankenstein. I was pissed because the Bride of Frankenstein is only in the last 10 minutes. So I don't know a lot about that, but I like that they're just literally Universal. Like, I've never seen the movies, but I know who the Mummy is, who Dracula is, who Frankenstein is, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. All those bitches, I've never seen their movies, but I know, like, I have
you know of
dolls,
them.
you know what I mean?
You know
They're
And
iconic.
they transcend their movies. They just, like, iconic. And you don't even need to know their history to know that they're important.
Yeah.
Iconic, yeah.
And you know their universal brand. It's
Yeah.
just like they kind of held up that household. It's like Frankenstein was what 1930.
1933.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
34.
way back
33 or
then.
34, yeah.
33 and 34.
Three and a
It's just
half
those
minutes.
movies just like
Yeah.
propelled the
Just the
studio
30s.
up. It's like people were frightened by them, but it's just it was
Because
what
nobody had
sells.
seen them at that time
Mhm.
either. That
Yeah.
whole idea of that being a type of movie that people would want to see was so foreign to people. And then finally they start bringing them out and realize that people love to sit there and be scared.
Yeah.
So it gives you like simple ideas during that time that really terrified people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all started from there. Like, we still use elements from that era in movies now, like the undead and monsters and all that.
Yeah.
That's where it came. Like, that was the.
So would you guys say that
Footnote
maybe
for
the monster movie is what kind of propelled horror in a way?
Yeah, definitely.
So to speak, yeah.
Yeah.
It brought fear.
Yeah.
That's where
It introduced.
it brought
that.
a different kind of fear into people. It wasn't just a person or a killer or someone's gone crazy or a rogue. This is something, an entity that you don't know or where they came from, and you don't know that backstory, and that's what terrifies us.
Right. See, like, to me, Frankenstein's gonna be always my favorite classic Universal horror. Like, Bride of Frankenstein's the superior one, but it's just Frankenstein itself is great.
The
but
movie or the monster?
the movie, if it comes to the movies, Bride of Frankenstein's
Because
the
I want to
best.
know about the movies. Like, what movie is really good to watch?
Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, 'cause
Bride of
we're also-
It's great because it's like you already, but you have to watch the first one because it's like it's a direct sequel. It's like it continues it, but the monster himself, like he becomes smarter. He like knows what he
Oh
wants.
yeah,
He
yeah, I
evolves.
can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. But again, the bride is only in the last 10 minutes.
She's only in the last 10 minutes, but she's
But she's
important
memorable.
because she's just like
She's that iconic.
she's iconic.
Yeah.
But it's also because
The physicality of it, yeah, the image,
Yeah.
yeah. But can anybody really tell like her personality and
No.
how iconic her personality is?
honestly
now?
no, she's only in it for like the last
Exactly.
5-10
minutes.
That's
minutes.
my problem with it.
And
I've never
but it's
seen
important because it
it.
showed
No, I've never seen it.
to me. It's oh god, why?
I haven't seen a lot of the
But-
old movies.
But you know, that's a good thing because we have people who've seen it, who hasn't.
Yeah.
So we're going back and forth with a debate about
So
it.
what
Right.
what are you seeing?
I remember these a lot when I was a kid because those were like the first movies I see on TV, and I love like black and white silent films. As far as I remember, Frankenstein was one of my favorites. Dracula, I watched those a lot, but also a lot of the Vincent Price movies and
Yeah.
the Twilight Zone movies, and those are the kind of things that kind of got into me more into the more horror scene. I just remember those as a kid, and then that's what got me into Tales of the Crypt, and that's where I full on became a horror fan.
Yeah, it
But,
leads to
but
that.
yeah, everything evolves
Yeah.
from
It
story
does.
to story.
To me, the only black and white horror movie that really scared me was House on Haunted Hill.
That's a really
That
good
was
one.
pretty
That's a
scary.
It was scary.
And it holds up till today because I had never seen it and I watched it recently because Ellen made me. And I was like, oh shit, this is actually like good. Like
Which-
it holds
Yeah.
up.
Which version did you watch?
The Vincent Price one.
They did a colored version as
They
well.
did a
No,
3D one too, right now.
The Vincent Price one.
I just
with
saw the
old
black- the
guy
black and
that's
white one,
crazy.
yeah. When the
No,
skeleton
for-
pops out.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
Black
that
and
was.
White, Night of the Living Dead was terrifying. For me, it was.
Was it done on black and white on purpose though, or was it black and
No,
white
it
because that was the time?
I think it was because of the time, and it was
What
also
year
the
was
budget.
that?
1960.
60-something,
There was
yeah,
color
it was
back
early
then, wasn't
60.
there?
There was color,
At the end,
but
So they did it on
60s.
purpose.
I don't think they did it on purpose. it
George
was more
Romero
budget.
did it on purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That
doesn't count.
the original Dawn of the Dead was 78.
Oh, there you go. No way. That's not even
Wait.
an old movie.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I mean, like the original
That's
was
the remake.
because it was black and white. I feel black and white movies have a scary element.
Yeah.
Only because it's like going back to those Universal movies. It's like it's dark. Like what I always like. Okay, you guys have been to Halloween Town in Burbank.
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh,
my favorite
yeah.
thing about that store is like I feel like every time I walk in there, they always have a Universal
We need to
movie
go.
playing,
Always.
and
yeah.
there's always the thunder,
Uh-huh,
lightning, and
yeah.
rain.
Yeah.
And a lot of those Universal movies have that thunder, lightning, and rain, and it just like it gives me a feeling of like
Yes.
boom, like you're in the horror element.
It reminds me of Halloween.
It
Reminds
does.
me
It
of
puts in the
home.
Halloween spirit. You hear like the howling and the creepiness.
We need to
It's
go
a
to that
tone.
store.
It's a
If
tone
it's
to
if
it.
it's the Wolfman or if it's the the creature, it's like there's always that like thunder and lightning, and it's like I always think of Frankenstein.
Yes,
It's alive.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
again, because it's back in the days,
Mhm.
you're so limited on what you have and supplies that you have to be very resourceful.
Yeah.
And one
Yeah.
of the things to rely on for these kind of movies is its sound equipment and its sound effects and how effective it's going to be with its audience because that's what's going to scare people.
And that's why I think
How-
movies nowadays should just cater more to makeup.
Yes,
Just
that's
effects
you
overall.
Have, you have shows like Face Off where they prove that they can do this, and,
Yes.
and there's a lot of
Talented
people
artists out
want to work in the industry, and they still go to this CGI bullshit that I don't know a single person that loves CGI. Everybody, when they see a movie, the one thing they complain about the most
Like-
is the CGI in it. So why not listen to that? It's very clear.
Like this
Is it cheaper though?
Well, this is the thing. What I think when it goes back to
less time consuming.
Hold on. It goes back to Jurassic Park, the way Steven Spielberg did CGI and practical effects. For a widescreen, they use special effects.
Yeah.
But if it's a close-up, they use practical effects because they want it to be realistic as possible.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
very realistic.
And that's why that movie holds up so well.
Yeah.
A lot of movies, they take the fast route where it's like, no, it's be time-consuming. Just do everything CGI. Here's the budget, make it happen, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then there's Universal movies like I can acknowledge that the sets and the makeup and the monsters, they're all practical effects and they just look so good.
They do. I
And
mean,
they
even
show
like
up.
the newer stuff, it's like they actually take time to do it. Like they did the remake for Dawn of the Dead, and that was pretty good because just the zombies, like they looked realistic. Like if you see the unrated version, and they like take their time with the makeup, the gore, and everything, and you kind of see you see the differences.
Yeah,
for the
the
theatrical
thing
cut.
is that it's because when you're doing practical effects, you see the great details.
Yeah.
In it. You could do the little details, and when you're doing digital effects, it's very time consuming. And then once you actually blow up an image, you see the pixels, and it
Yeah.
gets blurry, and it's not good. So you
Like
can't
pixelated bukkake.
exactly. Right? It's like Nintendo all over again. But that's what it comes down to. But studios, they want to keep pushing these movies out to get the money, so they don't give a shit about practical effects because it's time consuming.
That's so annoying.
Especially also, it's being an actor back in my days, doing castings and stuff is a hassle. It's a pain in the ass, very claustrophobic. I don't know if you've done it, Val, since you're an actor too.
Casting?
Have you done casting before?
No.
That is terrifying. I'm claustrophobic. I have anxiety.
I mean, I've
And
been to a lot of castings, but not.
no, not that kind of casting. Like the
I did that in
molding.
high school.
It's
For drama club?
Yeah,
That's
you
not
have to
bad.
rely on a team to help you breathe.
Yeah.
All they had to do, my whole face was covered. All I had to breathe through was my nostrils, and they had to clean it up.
I
And
said,
instead, my team was like taking selfies with me and pictures of me like freaking out instead of helping out. But again, a lot of actors, they won't do that.
I freaked out. I told the girl, get this off me, get this off me. I couldn't get my mask on.
You're like, the mirror, you're in the mirror.
No, no, it was drama club, and we were supposed to do those masks and just paint
Yeah.
it whatever. It was supposed to be on mold, and like I did my girls and whatever, she was fine, and then she did it on me, and as soon as she put the thing over my nose, not even for a second, I started freaking out because I'm claustrophobic too, and I was like, no, get
It's
this off me,
scary.
get the fuck
It's
off.
a scary
I was
feeling.
like, I failed the fucking I couldn't.
Especially putting trust in other people. Like
I
I'm
can't
just
go on
saying,
Fear Factor.
it's hard to do that kind of practical effects with actors. You have
Yeah.
to get stunts people to do that.
Yeah.
Someone who looks like them for to do that. Because I know actors would not do that. They would freak
Some-
the fuck
some
out.
do.
Some
Like,
do, but
Paris
not.
the
Hilton
right
did
amount
it
of
for House
money.
Wax.
Like a lot of them are.
If she can do it, you
Yeah,
can.
she did.
But not
She
many
also
people are
did a
gonna be
lot of
dedicated.
cocaine there.
Exactly.
Her nose was really cleared up.
She was cleaning out the pores.
Yeah.
That's what they convinced her. Like
I
it's
mean,
a black
but like
mask.
they
It's so funny.
but see, that's the kind of like length you go to like make a great movie.
Exactly.
But the thing is that people have become what do you call it? They've been catered to.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be demanded. Like that one bitch, Jennifer Lawrence from X-Men. She complained about doing the makeup because she doesn't want to sit there for 3 hours.
It's like if you're gonna commit to that character, commit to
But
that.
because she
character.
has
But
star power.
she did for the first two movies, and
But she
then
was a
got
nobody.
over it.
She was a nobody.
Exactly.
and
So
then
now that she has the power, she's like, no, you can
and you know what?
CGI me.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. The director catered to her.
But she
saying-
didn't look bad.
No, well, they had to change the story. They had to change her story arc.
To
being
look
like,
more.
They're like, oh, she's a hero now. She doesn't want to be a hero, so that's why she looks human,
Yeah,
not her
yeah,
blue
she
self.
was more human.
But
than
they
Mystique.
changed that because she didn't want to sit there doing the makeup effects.
But I think she paid her dues because she did the first two.
Not
But
for
look
the
at it this
character.
way. If she had not wanted to do that, and the director told her, "Guess what? I'm going to hire
Tough
somebody
luck.
else," do you really think she
She
would have
would've
sat
said
there
yes.
and said, "No, that's fine. Hire someone else"?
No,
She would've
would've-
sat
she
her
would've
ass
done
there.
it.
And
done
that's
it.
that's the thing about Hollywood now. People have star power where they could be demanding, and the directors and writers. Another perfect example was Johnny Depp in the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie. He said he didn't want to. It was supposed to be originally a female villain. He said no. I already did Dark Shadows, had a female villain. I don't want to be compared to that, so they changed it to a guy.
That happened?
Well, Dark
that
Shadows
happened.
was kind of really
he changed
bad.
that whole
Yeah,
thing.
Dark Shadows was
Yeah,
horrible.
that was a bad movie.
I like that movie.
You liked it. Why?
I like
I mean,
it.
I like it.
I like it.
nostalgic because
Oh,
I
okay,
like
okay.
the original show. Like
It's nothing like the show.
Yeah.
Granted, I think that's what
But
pisses off
I
people.
like the
but
nostalgia of it, but as far as the movie,
I
is
got
concerned,
bored.
it's
I was like,
a
what the
bad
fuck is
movie.
this?
The only reason why I'm rolling my eyes is because I'm over Johnny Depp, and I have
Yeah,
been for
he's-
a long time.
He is overproduced right now.
I
he
just-
needs to
I-
go take a break. I think Silver Shamrock was
He's-
saying it in the last podcast too.
Podcast.
Like he's like he needs to go take a break for a little bit, and
He
he's
does.
right.
He
No,
needs to disappear.
well, yeah.
Like, stop.
what he needs to do is that I like Johnny Depp. He's a good actor. He just needs to stop doing character
I'm Johnny Depp
characters. You know what I mean? Like if he went back to doing like regular old film, I would like to see another Crybaby. I like him doing musicals.
Do something like that.
Do another
Perfect
Edward
in
Scissorhands. Like do
June, that
something
was a
like
good
that.
movie.
He's too big for that.
Yeah.
now.
I
He's
think
not
so,
gonna wanna do
yeah.
it.
He wants to be
You know what I mean?
challenged.
Everything else has to be over the top, and I think that's what people are kind of over. He did Dark Shadows. Alice in Wonderland, and then the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. People are just over that. They want to see something else, something new.
Yeah.
I want to go back
least.
to the makeup thing because we were talking about this in the second podcast about
Last
how
one?
Jane Levy.
Oh, Jane
Jane Levy.
Jane Levy complained a lot about the Evil Dead.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And
yeah.
you let me borrow it, and I saw the special features and stuff. I didn't see her complain one bit, and if she did, she was in her whole right. That shit looked hard.
Yeah.
That shit looked intense. The makeup, the physicality of it, her having to be in that character,
It
the
is,
crazy
but see,
character.
like that's why. Imagine, okay, Boris Karloff went through several hours.
But that
just to
doesn't
do
mean
the-
you can't complain a little.
And that's
she
even
got
worse
the
back
job
then.
done.
Heroin addict.
But she got the job. He couldn't
Yes.
feel it. That's why. She went through it. She got it done, and she I think she deserved a little complaining. That's
I
all
think
I'm
so
gonna say.
too.
I think so. If you
We're not
do those
saying about
movies
that.
and you go through the makeup process and all the
No,
takes
that's gonna
it
be
you know
that she was complaining
they
about.
do for the whole you deserve. I think you do.
I mean, I have to attest to it because I've been through it. I did a feature film and it was shot in Michigan in I think like October. Fucking freezing
October breeze.
cold.
October breeze.
But it was so cold, and like I would have to get constantly covered in blood, and it was literally head to toe. Like I was just literally covered in so much blood that at the end of the night, when they were like taking off my jean pants, it was so cold that they would get stuck to my hair. So that when they would take the pants off, the blood would just rip my hair off. And it was bad, and there's no way that you can't complain, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that you can't
Like-
say something.
Like, being in character is fun. That's the fun part of it. But going through the process of it gets a hassle because there's times you can't move. You can't make facial expressions. You have to do all these things because they're working on your face. Make a mistake, something cracks, you're fucking everything up, and that's costing the studio money.
You have to
Exactly.
do it.
So
So-
I think you have to just go through it. That's why quality to me, quality is the important thing in movies. It's just like Universal does great in quality because you even see it during horror nights. Like
Definitely.
you see the
It's
sets
all in
and those
detail.
all those details in the mazes. You like get into the theme of the maze, and you're like, fuck, I'm there. Like when we went to the Texas Chainsaw House. Like it smelled like rotting meat walking through that, and I was
awesome.
legitimately terrified.
Because
I was
it
like,
puts you in that place.
I
where-
was with Edward, and I was hanging behind him. I was like, you go first.
I was scaring your ass.
No, he was carrying me around because I was just like, I find Leatherface terrifying.
He was
And so
terrifying
as
with the
soon as-
chainsaws and shit.
When you walk in through that maze, it's like it smelled like rotting meat, and there's like a dude at the counter like talking shit. I don't know what he was doing, and I was just like, this dude's gonna pop out. All of a sudden, Leatherface comes out in a corner with a chainsaw revving, and I scream loud because I was just like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, I'm running like, and I duck, but like, they put quality in their mazes because it's just like you're paying that much, you expect
For that quality.
You expect
So,
a good haunted
When it comes
house.
to Halloween mazes and stuff, when you go to Knott's, what was there, Scary Farm?
Scary Farm, yeah.
Then you go to Six Flags, Fright Fest, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They do. I work for Six Flags, Fright
Yeah.
Fest.
They do okay.
They did airbrush. That's what it is. They just told me, here's half your costume. The other half, you have to bring your own clothes. And then they just did a few airbrushes, and like, you're set. You're done. Universal, they spend hours. You have to be there
full-on
earlier
thing, yeah.
to show. You have to show them up earlier. Do your makeup. You have your whole costumes. You have your props. You have different layers so you
No,
can
they don't fuck
be that
around,
character, and you get into it. Like I said, the process of getting to the character is a bitch because it's just hours of just sitting there, not able to move, barely allowed to breathe. So, but once you're getting character, it's so much fun.
It is.
It's especially when you're covered in blood.
Well, I want to ask you about the remake, the Mummy remake.
The
Did you
Mummy
see it?
remake.
What's going on?
The Tom Cruise one?
Whatever you had
I-
Which
something to
remakes?
say.
Which remakes?
I did not watch it. I didn't care.
I know you had something to say about the remix or something, no?
The remakes, as in like the Brendan Fraser remakes.
Oh!
Those are good. I
Those
like
are
those.
good. Yeah.
But see, here's my thing. They should have left it at that.
Yeah, they shouldn't have kept it.
They should have left it at the second one. The third one was horrible.
The
I
third
know
one-
they're
one
trying to
was
do
very
like a whole
horrible.
dark universe thing where they're trying to bring back like. But see, I saw the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro.
How was that? I watched
That was
it. I forgot
bad. I
It
didn't
was-
like it.
It was okay because it was at the time I was just like whatever about it, but like now as like a more seasoned horror fan, I'm just like yeah, it was kind of bad. It's just it didn't go well.
Mm-mm.
But I mean, I don't know how they can do redo all these classic movies because just
The Dracula.
It's all
is good.
CGI.
Did you
It's all
guys see the
CGI
Dracula
crap.
Untold?
I can't.
No,
No.
I didn't want to see that
I
shit.
like
Honestly,
it.
for me, the
Dracula
only
Untold.
remake
Oh.
of any type that has anything related to Universal is Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of
That's
that,
it.
the stories that go along with those are so cemented in the way that everybody views them.
And even it
that
looked like a
they would
Universal.
not
You know-
hold up to
what
this
about Van
time.
Helsing?
Ew.
No, not that much. Because
No.
when it comes to Bram Stoker's Dracula, it comes to the actors, which
Yeah.
are all superb. Even Keanu, who's actually really decent. But the
just
costumes,
saw him
the
at the beach.
score, it's a whole round good movie. A lot of the new movies is a bunch of CGI. Maybe you get one or two good actors and a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah.
And they just try to make it a generic movie to make a coin. That's all it is. That's
Yeah.
why Dracula Untold didn't do well. That's why this new Mummy movie didn't do well. It looked like shit to begin with. No,
Yeah.
no offense to everybody in it, but it looked like shit.
And there's so many of them out there throughout the years that have just
Yeah.
like watered down the name that
And,
comes with it.
and I even
Right.
read that some of the things that they put in the new Mummy movie with Tom Cruise was stuff that they used in the Brendan Fraser Mummy.
Hmm.
So I'm like, why even bother if you're not going to
Because
do
I mean,
anything
those
new?
movies were good.
I
I'm not gonna
love
lie.
those
I love those
movies.
movies. Like the first two were really good.
Yeah.
The first one,
Agreed.
once I bought the movies on Blu-ray, I appreciate the first one a lot more. It's a very charismatic movie.
It is. Yeah.
And I appreciate Brendan Fraser for it because he actually did his own stunts. For that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I
But
like the
it's-
second one with Sun and Moon.
I love her. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Her
the
scene,
second one was really great.
her
to me.
scene with
Yeah.
Evie
with
when
Evie.
they're fighting.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
my
just so
favorite.
good.
Yeah.
Bad bitches.
Bad.
He loves his bad bitches.
But that's what it was. I love that scene, and it was a major cat fight,
Yeah.
and that was the best scene. That was my favorite scene.
I
of the
didn't. I
movie.
didn't see the third one with Jet Li.
No,
Like,
it's well.
not-
They
it was
changed the
bad.
actors. The story arcs was terrible. I hated his son. I hated his girlfriend. It was just a stupid movie. The effects were. It had a few decent effects. I'll admit, a few good action scenes, but it was just pointless. The whole thing was just pointless, and it was just a cash grab.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
It could have been called something else.
it could have been something else. It didn't have to be a mummy movie. Didn't have to be a mummy movie. It could be
Yeah.
anything fucking else. It
Yeah.
was just pointless.
So basically, none of us are down with a dark universe, right?
No, because
No.
I don't think it could be remade.
But you know what? Also, I don't.
Unless
I'll
it's
give
done
up.
right. Unless it's done right.
It's not catering to the horror scene. It's catering to action and adventure movies.
Yeah. Because it takes you back to the fact that like those type of movies had such a different storyline than what we're all used to seeing in a horror movie since then.
Yeah.
The evolution in like just the fact that those movies, your relatable character was the monster.
Mhm.
It wasn't the people persecuting the monster. Whereas like in a slasher movie, that's what you're getting.
You're kinda
is
rooting
someone
for the
fighting
monster.
that person. And in the originals, you're rooting for that monster, and that's your relatable
Like
character.
Frankenstein's a tragic character.
Exactly.
It is.
Very
And my
tragic.
thing with Frankenstein was that he was the most. I would say he was the most human character. I actually read the book not too long ago for class, and he actually, as a monster, he was the most human only because it's like he was the innocent one. That's what I kind of love about Frankenstein, was that even though he was dubbed the monster, out of everybody, he was the most human. It's like he was innocent.
didn't know any better.
He didn't know any better. That's the thing. Like when he threw the little girl in the lake,
Mhm.
it's like he thought he was just playing. She was throwing flowers. He threw her.
Mm.
Yeah, she died. I just wanted to say I know, but that's why. And Bride of Frankenstein is important because it shows that.
Yeah.
Because like even though she's in the last 5-10 minutes, he sees like, you know, she's just a thing. Like he reanimates her and she's animalistic. He's like, that's not a true mate. And so that's why in the end he, you know, kills them both and he's like, we belong dead. Because he finally understands, you know, we're monsters. We were created, you know, and
So
Tragic.
sad.
It's a
it is
tragic
sad.
story.
That's what I love about that movie is just like even though he was catered and he was promotioned as the monster, he was the most innocent and charismatic character. Everyone else was an asshole.
But isn't that how,
Sure.
like, isn't that, I almost feel like that's just, like, a say on society, how all the outsiders are monsters, and how everybody who's not the same as everybody is a monster.
Yeah.
You know?
It is,
Like,
that's
it's a good, like, it's a good,
It's like a metaphor to certain
It's a good metaphor, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes great with, like, the gay community, and how we're all,
We're
seen
different.
as monsters and we're seen as the outsiders.
That's
But-
kind of
and
why I
people don't
relate
understand.
to him a bit.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of people do. Just
Mhm.
because it's like, he's like, it's not my fault what I am.
Exactly. It's not his fault.
It's just,
Exactly.
it's
It
just how
wasn't
he's
his
created.
fault.
I was created this way. I was born
Right.
this way, but everyone
Okay,
sees
got
me
it.
as a monster. But see, this is kind of why in my youth, when I was like still figuring my shit out, horror was an outlet because I had Frankenstein. I was like, he didn't choose
Right.
to be this way.
Exactly.
Everyone else had their torch and pitchforks.
And they were ready to
They
go
were
and
ready to
attack
kill him,
and kill
you
him.
know, he's just like, I didn't ask
They
to
fear
be
what they
this.
don't
And
understand.
what's so wrong with being different? Nothing.
Exactly.
So I really do
And
appreciate
he
that.
searches for a soulmate,
Yeah.
which is what his Bride of Frankenstein.
Exactly.
He's like,
He wants someone just like him.
he's alone
Right.
and he wants somebody to.
someone to
He
understand.
wants a soulmate like the gays want some dick.
that
No,
too.
but he wants that. There's
Relatable.
that relatable connection. Is just like,
Uh-huh.
he was created by the doctor.
And
Right.
that's why I really like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein too, with Robert De
I haven't seen
Niro.
that. Was that good?
That's amazing. That's also another good movie. Like
Yeah.
that one and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Those two movies were so good.
They were
That's
good.
where it should be created the Dark Universe with those
I've
movies.
never seen that, but did it show that scene where the blind man was showing him how to read?
I don't.
Because to me, in the book, that was
no,
a very
but no.
human moment.
What they did is that he ends up leaving and he's on by himself. So he's out in the real world trying to survive.
Mhm.
And then finally at the end, he just takes matters to his own hands, and then he's just and then he makes the doctor to create his Bride of Frankenstein.
Because in the book, that's basically what happened. He was out trying to survive. This blind man takes him in, and I think that was a great, like, sort of metaphorical thing where it's just like someone who he doesn't see looks, he doesn't see anything, he just sees a human person trying to survive, and he helps him out. Like, he was just like, let me teach you how to do this, teach you how to read, and it ends up tragic because once his kids come back or something from the cabin, like that was something like that, and then they see, oh, it's a monster,
They
and then
judge him on the outside.
they judge him on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The old man who was blind saw him on the inside.
Oh, God, I want to watch all these
Beautiful.
movies
I know so
now.
much feels on that.
I really want to
Like-
watch
And you know what?
We
everything.
love you, Frankenstein.
That's the kind of heart that these new movies are missing.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
so.
Oh,
Yeah.
every
It has-
every human quality is gone.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just CGI monsters and creatures.
Action.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not bad for.
but they need to keep
for a
it
monster-
simple. They need
yeah.
to keep it simple and then build upon that.
The Mummy remake did it properly.
I
With
think
Brendan
so.
Fraser, they had the
Because
emotion,
you know
they
what?
had the
It's
action.
also the era they made it in.
Yeah,
Right.
Instead
Yeah.
of the newer times, it's kind of like, eh.
yeah. Because I don't think, like, if you do a new Mummy, or not even a Mummy, but like say a Phantom of the Opera or an Invisible Man, how would you do it? I mean, they did it with Kevin Bacon.
Hollow
right?
Man. That was
Hollow
actually
Man.
pretty good.
That was.
I
not
did.
bad.
I did like Hollow Man.
Hollow
Yeah.
Man was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tongue-in-cheek humor.
Like you saw Kevin Bacon's ass.
Oh my God! Do you
And
guys
it's
remember?
always-
Don't we always?
It's-
I know.
That's
We
CGI
have
great.
seen a lot of that boy,
Yeah.
especially in
Well,
Wild.
Let me
Things.
say, rewatching Friday 13th, Kevin Bacon was fucking hot.
He was.
Oh,
really
he's a
hot.
hot. Yeah.
He was hot in the first one. I'm sorry. Like,
Such a
it was
Baldwin.
just- Damn.
Such a ball.
Such a bald
It's the new Christian Slater.
Yes. But what was that one movie where they had all the monsters in it?
Monster Squad?
No.
The League of something
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
League of Extraordinary
yes.
Gentlemen. I actually kind of like that movie.
That was a
I
good movie.
forgot about
I
it.
enjoyed the shit out of that.
Sean Connery stopped acting because of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. He's like,
Granted,
I'm
that's
done.
not really a Sean Connery type of movie.
I enjoyed myself.
But he was like,
but
let
it
me-
was a good movie.
Like, let
Yeah.
me do this. Didn't do well. I'm done with acting. Fuck this shit. I'm
I
retiring.
forgot about that one.
Sean
Yeah.
Connery.
It came right after another one that was kind of like that, no? There was another one where monsters got together, and then the League came out right after it.
Wasn't it Monster Squad?
No, shit. Never mind.
I don't know.
I dreamt it.
You probably did. Yeah, Monster Squad was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I don't know. I would love a good monster movie where the people, like, okay, like when Godzilla came out, the trailers.
Which one? The 98?
No, the
version
new
or
one, not the 98 one. No, not that Matthew Broderick bullshit. No.
I liked
too.
it.
No.
It's a lot more fun than that fucking last one that came
The
out.
new
with.
one? No, the new one. Here's my problem with the new one. The trailers
Uh,
made it seem like Godzilla's the monster and he's attacking the city. That's what I wanted. and they flipped it in the actual movie. They're like,
Well,
oh,
he wasn't
he's the
even
hero.
in it.
I was like, that
He
is
wasn't even
some
in it.
straight up bullshit. That's why the Japanese, after that came out, that's why they redid another one, and I heard it's fucking perfect.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, the Japanese
Yeah,
Godzilla.
I wanna
that
see
just
that.
came out.
Yeah,
I hear that is exactly what the trailer promised. It is like Godzilla attacking the city. He's bigger. He's scarier. Like I know they released it recently, but I just never like I don't know where I could find it.
I really had hopes for that. The last one that came out with. I really love the father son dynamic, but the fact that, spoiler alert, when they killed the father,
Yeah.
and it was just about the son, I was like, what the fuck is this? That's where it lost me.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, this is bullshit. And then the fight that when they're trying to show a Godzilla fight, they would do it off camera.
Yeah.
As soon as they're about to battle
At the airport. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I felt cheated. That's what it was. I felt
Exactly.
cheated on what was promised and what I wanted. They wanted to do a better Godzilla more than the '98 Matthew Broderick film. They did it aesthetically better. The tone was right, but it just wasn't there.
I know. I was like, why not make him the monster? Like, why do you gotta make him the hero? Like,
Right.
people want to
isn't-
be scared.
Godzilla versus Mothra.
Not yet. Do
Not
we
yet.
consider Cloverfield a monster movie?
Yes.
To an
yes.
extent,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Do we think that he was under the earth and came out of the water, or was he an alien?
I believe it's supposed to be an
I prefer
alien.
him to be an alien.
No, this is.
I prefer him to be out of the water.
Okay, because this is what I don't get about Cloverfield 10. The Lane 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
That was a great
Cloverfield
movie.
Lane.
That was
I
a really
thought
good
it was
movie.
Okay,
too.
if it was supposed to be a continuation to Cloverfield, where was the monster and why did aliens?
No, no,
follow
No,
us?
no, no.
No.
It's in the same universe.
Well, okay,
It's kinda like
but then the
Prometheus and
Cloverfield
aliens.
monster is
Same
an
universe,
alien.
it's not.
They're just saying that there's a lot of shit going on, like a lot of monsters all at once. And
Okay.
Could be a different
I don't
planet.
know.
So I love
Maybe it was
Cloverfield.
a
I actually
hatchling.
saw it in the theater. I went with my mom. We both got motion sickness.
Nice.
But we loved it at the end. It was really fun and gory too. Like that bursting girl.
Oh,
scene.
Janice
That was
Ian-
cool.
Janice Ian.
Janice.
She was the best part of the movie.
It was.
I
She
love
was
her.
pretty. I love the movie. It was pretty awesome.
I just hated the main character in Cloverfield.
In Cloverfield Lane,
That was a good one.
I just would have preferred that at the end when she instead of fighting the alien, the monster would have been outside and she was fighting that,
Right.
or the little like minion thing. Not the
I wish
the
that
parasite
scene
thingies.
was extended an extra 10 minutes. Rather than it seems so shoehorned, I wish they expanded more on it and showed it a little bit more. Because it just felt so simple. It's like a kind of like a happy ending. I killed the monster. I'm free. Now I'm gonna go and do good and blah blah. And it's just like,
But then there she's like no.
No,
That's
but-
not how it ends.
well, that's
No.
no. With it, she's like she escapes. She's like, I'm alive, and she's driving, and she's like, okay, this is where all the action and stuff is happening. I'm gonna drive there, and then that's where
Does she
shows.
drive off at the end?
Yeah,
yeah, she drives off.
and she drives through where the monsters invasion is happening.
Oh shit.
What was the name of that movie that we watched with the guy from The Girl Next Door, and they're in like Europe, and it's the aliens, but they're invisible?
The darkness.
See, those types of like monsters.
The light
were-
monsters?
Yeah, that was a
Alien.
cool idea for a monster.
A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, what was
Which was
It was the
stupid.
darkness. Fuck.
No, it wasn't the darkness.
Something.
That's what Kevin Bacon.
Let's see.
uh,
IMDb comes in handy.
yeah, they were like in Russia, and then
Yeah.
slides come out.
Chernobyl Diaries.
No,
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 No.
no.
It
They
was
were
pretty
like
good
they were
too.
aliens, and they were taking over.
But they were in lights.
They were taking over like the power source.
The darkest
of-
hour.
The
There-
darkest
yeah,
hour.
yeah.
Said something about that.
They're taking over like all of Earth's energy to take back to their own planet, I think is what the basis of
Yeah.
it is. And they like literally come down, they're invisible, and then like these people find a way. Sorry for the spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
The people like find a way to be able to like deactivate their invisibility, and like they come to be like these mechanical alien things that suck up energy.
I thought it was pretty fun.
I think it was a great movie.
I liked it.
I haven't seen it.
I enjoyed it.
Well, you should definitely watch it.
Is it on Netflix?
Watch it.
Probably.
Somewhere.
Who knows?
It's online for free.
Online,
Pirated movies.
which we don't do.
Nobody condones that.
Side note.
I would not give you a website to go look at.
Have
I
you
don't know.
guys ever seen? It's a 1931 movie. It's called Vampire or Vampire. It's a German movie.
Are you sure that's not Nosferatu?
No, I'm sure.
I don't know, but Buffy got the book. I know.
This movie is amazing, and I'm gonna make sure to watch it with you guys. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes.
But you know, I love
It's
silent
wonderful.
films.
It's,
You know what?
It's a silent film, and it's gorgeous.
Okay, do you know what my favorite silent film is?
Hmm.
In terms of, like, even in general. Like, I've seen all the Charlie Chaplin type shit and everything, but, like, for a silent movie, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari
Yes.
is very
Oh,
fucking
never seen
frightening.
it.
Yes.
Because it's like an hour 10, hour 15
I
minutes.
want-
This is your horror history.
I don't know.
Horror
I've
history
never
right
heard
here. But Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is very just like, it's frightening because it's not so much a silent film, but the makeup, the darkness,
And the
it's-
shots they use.
the shots
type
they
of
use, because it does a lot
cinematography
of the
they
German
use. Yeah.
type of cinematography,
Mhm.
and it's kind of scary. Like,
Well,
it's
this
just
is
like,
this is what this movie is kind of like too. Then
yeah. I mean,
sounds like it.
I dig it just because of that. Like, I love the cinematography of it. It's dark.
mm-hmm.
Like, I was watching it on a Sunday evening, and it was just like, it freaked me out because it's just like, it's a silent film. You don't hear anybody talking,
right.
and it kind of fucks with you a bit just because it's like you have to read everything,
I like
and you're just
that.
like,
I like
oh
that
shit,
a lot.
you know. And it was a great movie. Like, just to start off, like, all these, you know, horror things, and
Yeah.
for the time being, like, I would have been frightened as shit. Like,
You know, The Wolfman was always like one of the movies from like the monster movies that scared me when I was younger, just because I felt like it had such good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And the fortune teller lady was my favorite part about that movie because she was so just, I don't know, she was just so weird, and she was so skinny and just creepy and like I loved
Her gypsy
everything.
accent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these movies, like, what they preyed upon was atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's like when you have the good set, you have the good atmosphere. It's like you see the fog in the distance. You know, like Frankenstein had the German town. It's like, it's freaky in general. That'll grab you. So it's like you immerse the audience member in there,
Right.
and it's like from there on you
You
can
drawn
just,
into it. Yeah.
you know,
Which
take
is,
them.
that's definitely why Nosferatu is one of my favorites, is just the fact that, like, it's a silent film. It gives you everything and ambiance that you would ever want
Yeah,
to
it's
feel
creepy.
creepy. People are asleep and somebody's just randomly coming into your bedroom to feed off of you, and then, like, you wake up
He was
to
pretty
find
scary
them.
looking too.
Yeah.
And like, he's not a stereotypical what we would think of as a vampire, because, like, Dracula completely humanizes what a vampire is and
Yeah.
makes him a human form.
He was like Ted Bundy.
Yeah,
Just very-
exactly.
yeah.
So definitely Nosferatu. You
But
get,
like the thing
the
that plays
sense of
with
horror.
the old movies is that they use they play with lighting because it's black and white,
Mhm.
and that's a lot of things these new movies don't play upon because
Yeah.
lighting plays a role. Lighting, sound, all this stuff all comes together. But I think that's another thing too.
Do
But-
we consider Sam from Trick or Treat a monster or a slasher?
I would say
That's a
monster.
good one.
It's a monster because it has werewolves and
No,
vampires.
him, Sam.
Sam
Sam
himself,
in general,
Yeah.
he's a monster. I would say
I would
regardless.
say he's a new monster.
he's a new monster, maybe.
And a good one, too.
Yeah, because I feel monsters, they don't necessarily have to kill everybody they encounter, whereas a slasher does.
Mhm.
I mean, that movie
True.
kind of like took a little bit of everything. It's like they had the werewolves, they had the monsters and everything. So, you know, the creepy children. So I think
the ghost.
that was a bit fan service to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Sam as a character, I think he's a new...
monster.
monster. Yeah, he's
especially the
totally
scene
an
with
icon
Brian
now.
Cox.
yes.
That was really good.
Yeah.
That's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. He does good. And he's...
I'm surprised.
And he's
endearing,
fucking
too.
adorable.
Yeah.
He's so
He's
adorable.
I want to carry him in the pocket.
I'm surprised there isn't a sequel yet.
He's
Yeah.
working on it.
They're working on it.
I know they are, but I mean, how
They've been
long has
working
it
on it for
been?
But the,
years,
the thing
yeah.
about it is that it has so many arcs to that story that
Yeah.
like,
You
they
have
can't
to
do just
really
one.
write it.
Granted, it took Trick or Treat forever to
Yeah.
come out as well.
And he was writing the second one, but then Krampus got in the way.
Krampus,
Yeah.
So he had to postpone it.
And
Which
that was
Krampus was
actually
great.
That was a good.
I
That was a really
loved
good
it.
movie.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I love Krampus.
It was
The
good.
story
It
of
could
Krampus
have
was
been better. I'm not gonna lie.
Tony Collette was fucking
Yes.
bitch
Yeah.
fierce in that. I love
I think
her.
that's gonna be a great holiday horror favorite. Which I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to do an episode for holiday horror.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That
Like,
would
I have a
fun.
whole bunch of movies getting ready for holiday horror.
Did we go to the maze for Krampus?
Yes, that was last year. We
And
did
it
the
smelled
Krampus
like
maze.
gingerbread.
No, that was
Cute.
one of the. See, this is why
It was so fucking cute.
Universal
Gingerbread.
turns out for these mazes, but it smelled like gingerbread. and you see the Krampus hovering overhead, and we're just like, oh shit!
And all the
like,
monsters on the walls
you know?
and stuff, and killing the children. That made me laugh.
Yeah, it wasn't the best maze, but it was still
was
pretty-
fun. It was fun.
came.
Fucking-
That's what I love.
When I went to Horror Nights, the lines were so long that I only got to go to the American Horror Story.
Oh no,
maze.
we're doing the.
That's it.
Monday night.
We're doing
See,
The
the
line was like, yeah, now I know, but it's like 150
Who cares?
bucks.
It's worth it.
I still haven't done it, so I'm
No,
gonna
to
do it
fit-
this
I'm
year.
gonna do
finish-
it, yeah.
I'm gonna do it
To
this
finish
year.
out the show, Boys, Booze, and Blood is going to be at Universal Horror. We're going to do front of the line. Like, it's the only
It's
way
gonna
to
be a
go.
group thing.
I'm
And it's
sorry.
in October, so you guys save up money and come.
Yeah,
Actually,
all of
no,
you have to
September.
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 Oh,
Yes,
End of
September.
September,
Oh,
beginning
well,
October.
Because hold on, because the prices range. It's cheaper to go in September at the end of September.
Yeah, so
and
I
it's
would,
less crowded too.
Yeah, I say we go first or second weekend.
Yeah.
I agree.
I have a question before we let go. Do you guys think like Alien and Predator and just any of that, would that fall into like a monster category
That
Yes.
for
is-
you?
I think the
They're more
line is
sci-fi.
blurred. I think the
Sci-fi
line is blurred because
monster.
if we're talking horror, yeah, they're monsters. If we're talking sci-fi, then their own thing because they're aliens.
But
Right.
But
That's like-
they're in the genre for sure.
Yeah, like
and
Alien
there would be
Covenant is
monsters.
another example.
Alien
I-
failed me, but Predator, I have hope for.
Like the new Predator
There's a new one
movie
coming out,
out.
yeah.
The new Predator, I'm having hope for. I'm gonna hold out hope.
Well, since now that they're actually saying it's gonna be a direct sequel to the originals.
And the cast is good.
The cast is good, so that's why I'm hoping. I don't know what that little boy is doing in there. I'm not gonna lie.
He's
Well, it
probably-
doesn't mean he's gonna be in the whole movie. It could be just a scene or something.
He better just be in just.
Hopefully.
a scene,
I don't
'cause
like-
it's
I normally don't
I
like
don't, I
kids.
don't want a watered down
Because when I was
movie.
when I was watching
put
Lights
some little
Out
boys in there.
last night, I didn't like that little kid in it. I don't
Oh
normally
my
don't
gosh,
like.
it was so good.
I don't like
It was a
kids.
short movie though, right?
It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Another movie is
Lights Out.
Babadook. A lot of people didn't like the little kid in that
Yeah.
movie.
That kid
I don't
fucking
know.
annoyed the shit out
The
of
only
me.
thing
It was annoying.
I know,
I know
but
that's
I'm
the
just
point.
saying.
I know
he
that's the
did
point,
such
I
a
love that
good
movie.
job at annoying the shit out of me.
But I'm saying like most of the times I can't tolerate kids. The only kids I liked was like in The Conjuring. That was good. I
Orphan.
Like, Orphan. I love Esther.
Children of the Corn.
Children of-
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Babadook because that is a new monster too.
That is technically.
And he's
And
now
LGBT.
a gay
No,
icon.
he's a gay icon because of the internet.
But I love that movie. And
And
the
now
kid,
they're making a Babadook dildo, so.
I saw that.
You can get
But
the
I like
art.
that movie because
The
it is a
Babadook.
monster and
The
it's all
Babadook.
inside the woman's head. The kid got her so annoyed to the point of that she had to come up with something to calm him down. And since he was obsessed with monsters, she wrote the book. I don't know if you guys know this. When she shows up in the police station, she has ink all over her hands. And she's a child's book writer. So the kid got her so fucking crazy that she wrote that shit and then she turned into the kid. At the end, they reverse roles and she's a fucking crazy one and he's the one who's calming her down. I just love that movie and I don't get the hate for it. But
I love that though. I didn't know that, so I love that you.
Yeah,
said
I
that.
didn't know
Thank
that
you.
either. I was just like,
That
oh,
makes a
now I
little more
gotta rewatch
sense,
it.
and I like
Yeah.
that.
The
I didn't know
movie,
to
the
watch
movie
it.
also has very like subtle tones of abuse too.
It does.
which
Yeah.
I
It's a dark
love.
movie.
it's
By
The-
both
the-
the mom and the kid, by the,
the
way.
dad died,
Yeah.
so they're both psychologically fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of great undertones about that.
which is why I like that movie. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But no,
I
I think this is good. Monsters, we would really want to
are we
see
hopeful?
more
Are we
of.
hopeful about it though?
I'm hopeful about it.
The Dark Universe and the Godzilla universe now.
I don't know
with
about the
King Kong.
Dark Universe,
I don't know
but I
about
think
all that.
Godzilla, Predator, I think that's
Gonna be fun.
that's gonna be fun
For sure.
I'm
King
excited.
Kong was amazing.
King Kong was good. I
But-
know Mikey would have loved it.
Oh,
I
yes,
like
he
so.
would
Mikey would
have.
have loved it.
Yeah,
He definitely would.
But when it comes to new monsters, I think we're getting a few good original monsters that soon should be icons too.
maybe. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be
I
cool.
think so.
Like those kind of
But-
monsters, yes. Not the mummy stuff.
No.
They need to work on.
Diana from Lights Out,
Yeah.
the Babadook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I do have to say,
Lulu, I don't know. whatever.
talking about this, I want to go and watch all the monster movies now because
No,
I
you
haven't
should.
seen all of them.
Honestly,
you know?
we owe it all to Universal.
Yeah,
I'm not
Yeah.
that's the whole
we
point
owe
of
it all
this.
to them. So
Yeah.
Thanks,
and
Universal.
for like
For
keeping
sure.
up with it.
all right.
Thank you.
Signing off.
We're signing off. Thanks for listening, you guys.
Yeah.
We'll be at Universal Horror Nights. That's for
Save
sure.
your
Going out
money.
there. Start saving up.
Yeah.
So-
By the way, they sell really cool merch there too, so it's not just for
Oh,
tickets.
hell yeah, I'm there
we,
for the
We
merch.
buy a bunch of
Yeah.
t-shirts, lanyards, action figures. They
all that
sell
bullshit.
mugs.
I'm there.
A lot of merch. So,
So,
We're excited.
Boys,
And-
Booze, and Blood.
Boys, Booze, and
signing
Blood.
off.
Woo! Bye, guys.
guys.